if you could get a couple of pieces of paper, I always use scrap paper, so, you know, stuff that's printed on one side and that I don't want to use, but I use it for these little slips that I make. So just make sure that you've got a nice stash of blank slips of paper that about this size, you can see. Okay, so for that you're going to need your scissors, and if you choose to, you might want to glue those into your writing book as you go along, so it's quite nice to have a glue stick as well. Okay, and then a colored pen. I'll be asking you to underline stuff as we go along as well, so a colored pen that you can underline with any color that you like. And then as we move along, you'll be collecting these slips of paper that I was talking about here. So something that you can put them into. Sometimes I'll ask you to collect them for a day or two. Sometimes we might use what you've written on slips immediately within an exercise. But try to keep them all together. Don't lose them, because I'll tell you about that now as well. Okay, and then looking here, you can see here I've just taken a quick pic of some of my writing. I like to write by hand. I find it works for me a lot better than typing straight into the computer. Although I do know that there are some people who like to type, and that to them that comes more naturally almost, whereas for me it's the writing. But I do feel that there's a very strong connection from head to heart to arm to hand to pen to paper. So try it maybe, even if you think, oh no God, I can't write by hand, don't ask me to do that. Give it a go just for once. If you hate it, then by all means go back to typing. But yeah, I'm very much a fan of handwriting first. And we'll be doing a lot of free writing, and so I'll be asking you to write, and I'll explain that a bit later as well. Okay, then you need a book. You can see here I've got a couple of writing books, pictures of them here. Some people like to use beautiful books. If you're like me, you like to use the back of your old drafts, because otherwise it's such a huge waste of paper. I can't bear the thought of that. Lined exercise books, I sometimes have used those along the way, as you can see here. So make sure though that you do have a book, somewhere to keep all of the stuff that you have done and written in one place. Otherwise it gets lost and you can't find what you were looking for. And it's great then as you write more and more, you can date them, and you'll see how your pile of writing, how it grows. Okay, and then this last picture here, all those prompts that I was telling you, all these little slips of paper that I was telling you about. I've got what I call my traveling prompt box, and then I've got my massive prompt box. And what I do is all these slips that I was telling you about, they just get upended and into this huge box. And sometimes when I'm watching TV, I'll sit and page through magazines and newspapers and you know, things like National Geographic or You magazine, and cut out titles or lines that appeal to me, and stick them onto another piece of paper so that they're quite robust. And then I've got a whole box full of prompts, which are very, very useful as a kickstart to start writing off. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as well as we go along. But have all of this on hand so that you don't have to go running and interrupt your train of thought in order to find it. Okay,